Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is OctoMan from OctoManGames.com or OctoManGames.academy. So I want to introduce part 2 of my game project, which I currently call Capsule Wars. It doesn't mean that the name is going to stay the way, but probably it will. I'm not quite sure yet about it because naming doesn't mean anything to me. Currently it is more like a working title, so I have something I can focus on and I don't focus on what is the best name for it or maybe not, and so on and so forth. So in this video I want to show my process on a couple of different things. I'm planning, I'm gonna start with my roadmap and then I'm gonna start to work on or show some footage I just implemented, and so you can see how far it goes and how far it actually went so far. So let's start with the roadmap, and what I use is currently Trello. It's free to use. It supports a bunch of languages and stuff like that. And what I can do over here in this Trello space, but this is not the correct space, it seems. Oh, it does. Anyways, Capsule Wars is going to be now also here the working title, and what I now want to work on is basically the most important stuff is the to-do list. You can create your own tabs and stuff like that over here if you want to use something like that. Just make sure you don't lose too much time on planning things, because it just adds up too much, and later on you don't really focus on what you should work on, because it alone this can take quite some time. So I started to get some core feature listings and mechanics I wanted to implement, and what I actually need to work on or put into the game, which I think are the most important things. So all the core features and mechanics are the absolute first thing. So if I have almost all of these done, it doesn't necessarily have to be the particle effects and music stuff, as well as any voice acting and so on and so forth. But this is something I want to definitely implement. So that's why it's kind of a core feature. So what do we have here? I was working on the camera system. I already introduced that. I didn't change much. Well, a slight bit, because I had some issues with some swapping between positions, and I just added a new, let's say, extra position to manipulate them. The problem with the camera system at the moment is that meanwhile a blend is appearing, and I need to go and put the camera to another position or such, the blend, when it breaks, is not kind of fluid. So I need to find a way later on probably to maybe smooth that out, or maybe I can stop the blend and take it as a start position to blend to the next position. Something like that. I'm not 100% sure if there are any possibilities, but I will find out. Otherwise, the camera system is quite accurate and very good. It focuses on the most important things, which are going to be the enemies and hopefully later on also the hostiles. So for inputs, I have a bunch in this list, and the most of them are already implemented. What I now have new in this, I'm going to show that in a video footage in a bit, is the mouse input. So the mouse is now also staying on screen. Well, basically not the mouse, but the crosshair stays on screen, depending on the mouse input. So literally had to rewrite some of the code to make mouse active, and now I cannot use both at the same time. So the flip between, or this automated switch between gamepad and mouse is not really working. So I need to have some kind of an option later on to either use gamepad input or gamepad or keyboard. Basically those two are the same, but mouse input is totally different. Also, the basic aiming is done, the basic shooting is done, and the crosshair on the screen is also done. So, and what I'm now working on is light gun support. Probably it is easier than I think, but I haven't touched a light gun at all yet. So I ordered one, but I'm not quite sure when it is arriving. And probably it can use the same mouse inputs, basically, so I can hook them up together as being some kind of a selectable option in the game once later on. So then I want to put some kind of a score system together. So every time you shoot something, you get some score. If you I don't know, in the very end of a level, whenever you have like this and that accuracy rating or whatsoever, then you might want to go and get more score. Maybe you get score also updated a bit, like depending on how long you need to shoot somebody down who's already aiming you, and so on and so forth. I'm not 1% about every part over here, but this is what I want to go for. Also, I want to take a look into events and, of course, later on bosses. And so currently just for the level 1 boss over here, or basically get some kind of bossy feeling mechanic into play. It depends on what the boss is going to be about, and so on and so forth. I'm gonna when I'm at the stage where I have to design a boss and a boss fight, actually, then I will go further into that. I added some basic sounds over here, so some voice acting on my own, just pitched a bit on the voices here and there, and just implemented them. We're gonna take a look into that in a moment. And I added one soundtrack for the moment. It's a free track, so I was able to download this one for free. Later on, I might change things here and there, but it seems to kind of match quite okay. But I believe I don't have footage about it yet. Effects and particles is basically like when I shoot something, I think about maybe having decals somewhere where I shot or something similar, not quite sure, but especially when I hit some explosives and I want to have an effect to show that explosion, so as heavy as it is, as well as if I crack down a crate or if I hit something else, then I want to have different particle effects. So I currently have one just to see if I hit or not and what I kind of hit. But, well, I need to extend this a bit. Well, music, once again, I need this for certain levels, for cutscenes, for any other things I can think of. Hostile voices is like something where whenever a hostile is going to be inside the scene, he says or he cries something like, somebody help me, or something similar, or help me, or don't shoot me, or something like that. I'm gonna have to record this. And so same for boss voices. So whenever I tell story or something like that, I need to record boss voices as well. So, and now when it comes to the first level, which is the harbor, I already started to block out something. I'm going to show you in a minute how it looks at the moment, what the route is and stuff like that. I have to do now a bunch of 3D modeling. So I need to, I created a list for this one as well. I need a gate, I need walls, a main building, container ship, some of these rope holders, which you have like next to the water, which are still, you know, on this, on the land side. Probably I'm gonna implement some cars, trucks, or even a forklift. Not quite sure yet. I need a crane. You're gonna see where and for what probably later on. Then I need crates and barrels, so destructible objects, let's say, which can be destroyed. I need the hostiles themselves, the first boss, and maybe some boss extras like, you know, machine gun or any kind of, maybe he's throwing something into our direction. Which we have to shoot down, like grenades and stuff like this. And also maybe for other enemy types, I may need some more 3D models here and there. So as you can see, there's a bunch to do. I already started to write a story, or let somebody else write a story. Kind of just for that level 1, and I'm gonna show that later on. When it comes to the story content, I need to create some cutscenes. And when it comes to cutscenes, it's like I need an introduction into the level. I need to have maybe some in between, but to whenever I enter the building, something is probably happening here and there, maybe even further down. Then I have a setting where we have setting up the bomb. This is some game parts I want to have in. Then I need to free a hostile. I have a boss intro, a boss end, and probably some other extras and bonuses. Bonuses for collectibles or extras with the hostile or whoever whenever the game has been ended, literally. Or actually, let's say when this level is complete. And so I can explain the story, I can tell the story. I'm not quite sure how I will do this, but, well, this is kind of like that. I need some more enemy animations, like falling to the left, falling to the right, or maybe jumping into the scene or stuff like that. And of course I need hostile, boss, some extra events, which may happen when I trigger them. Like I walk through a trigger and maybe something is falling down, or maybe a helicopter or anything else is going to fly over and maybe shows something story-wise. This could also lead to more or less like a cutscene scenarios. That's why these extra events are going to be inside. Well, then all the spawn points have to be set. So basically, I started with the first spawn point right now. I have the route is set up already, and I believe I have checkmarked this one already. So the route is planned, but now I need to put all the 22 waypoints, which I have in the first part. I need to put all the enemies into place, like all their spawn points, as well as their shooting points, as well as their ending points. Same for the hostiles. And of course, connect all of that later on to, well, the main features like the score system and so on and so forth. So also I plan to maybe create 2 or 3 more enemy types, a rifle, a throwing, and a melee enemy. Currently I don't have any of them, but we'll see how it goes. So, and this is basically the main, these 2 main pieces are going to be my very first walkthrough, my roadmap I need to do. For the first demo, once I can go into the step, I need definitely a main menu and an option menu for the actual inputs I just explained, to switch between keyboard or gamepad and mouse or light gun. If light gun is supported until this point, I once again ordered one, but it takes a while. Also, I want to do later on an A/B test, because I joined a Discord server who is actually playing a lot around with them light guns, especially emulates old games and stuff like that, and give some support on them guns. And some people said, or one guy said, it would be interesting if I just leave the enemies or wherever they, wherever they have been destroyed, let's say, or killed, or whatever you want to name it, or knocked out, let's say, that it is interesting to see how much damage you have done, basically, to like around you, like when you look around and everywhere is full of enemies or actually knocked out enemies. That's something he liked about it, or the idea about it. So maybe I'm gonna see if that is a performance issue if I would leave the 3D models lying around. Of course, I would deactivate rigid bodies and all the other good stuff, so they are not doing anything, just lying over there. I disable rigid bodies and make them kinematic and or whatsoever, and disable their scripts and so on, so they don't do anything further. Yeah, and then later on it comes to the next phases. So for the moment, I'm not really too much into everything which comes into place. So basically, I have this investment for the actual light gun. I'm gonna take a look into media later on. So I shoot more footage for you guys, so you can actually see what's going on. I'm gonna make that available on YouTube every now and then. Maybe I'm gonna also post some quick media here and there. So whenever you guys are interested into following this space, I'm gonna post a link down below in the description of this video, so you can always check what is already done over here. Maybe I post some extra showcase things here and there. Maybe I'm gonna shoot some images or make some latest quickie movies, for example, to check out. Also, you can check out my Discord channel down below. There's a link to it. You might want to go and join that to connect to other game developers if you like to, and also showcase your projects on at the same time, as well as I'm gonna show my things over there, and we're talking about this and that, or maybe helping each other. Maybe you need some coding help, so you can also help each other over there. So feel free to join the Discord server at any time you please and like. It doesn't cost you anything. And well, yeah, and then I later on, this is the very late part, basically as a press kit, I want to put a game logo together. I need to fix title. I need ready to use screenshots as well as trailers. So if there is press which is going to be interested in this project, or maybe there are some online, I don't know, representations of content, then they can instantly use this content. So I prepare that for them. This is what a press kit is about. Same for maybe also story to be told or something like that. So I can put them content together into this press kit. So once again, if you are interested into that, there's anyhow sharing, or anyhow you can go that. This is an open board, so you can actually take a look at any time you want what has been added at what time of or date or something like that, and what is already done. Like anyhow, like with a green one or with a yellow one, what is currently in process. And so maybe you're gonna follow up over there here as well, so you keep on track over here. Okay, so let's take a look into some footage. So in the first video, I'm gonna show a bit already of the start of the game, so how it probably is going to start. And, well, as you hear, there are some recorded sounds I implemented, and also some reloading sound.
Reload.
And so this is basically how it probably is going to be in the end as well. Also, you can see I managed some of the actual, I actually blocked out the complete scene. So basically just this harbor scene. So, and this is what I'm going to show in the next video. So like a little look around. So what you can see is there is this building in the right side, which is basically going to be the goal area. Then we have some vehicles. As you can see, just simple graphics, just cubes and cylinders I use directly from Unity itself. And you can see me pointing to the route over there. So kind of, so it's more like it's like a snake going through these levels. And you can also see wherever these white lines are going to put, or wherever these white lines are going to show, this is the camera vision. So I have a faster way and possibilities to go through this full level. Also, you can see in the bottom over here, this is where this crane is going to become. I just put it up something over there. So in the next video, I'm going to show you each, let's say, different route position to see what each of them, let's say, stages are. Also, you can see there are these little rope holders. So wherever a ship can dock and, put a rope on so it's not swimming away or floating away in any case. So I need to model all of these. I need to model such a crane, something. So as you can tell, you don't have to be super precise in blocking out the scenario. It's more likely that you just need to have something at least. Also, later on, I might play around with water, but this is not important at this point in time because you barely see the water over there. So let me show you the last one, which is going to be literally a little walk through this current area. So now it's using mouse input, so I can directly go with my mouse to these positions. It's extremely quick now, as you can tell. My pointer is directly being used. And now I'm going to show you how this game is going to look. So every time you have like a 3-second, let's say, watch time or 3-second view, you're going to see where can you plan at this positions. Where can you plan could enemies come from? So, for example, here on the actual vehicles, or maybe put them on the containers or behind the containers, maybe come in between. Meanwhile, doing them transitions is a possibility. Not quite sure if I'm going to do this. Usually you have like fixed position like here and so on and so forth. So you can put them here everywhere or come around the corner or maybe here in between.
Reload.
And so on and so forth. So everything is still working. On this area, it's a bit empty. I might put something special, not quite sure yet. And the next way, as you can see, there is this container area. I can put enemies on top of that. Also, in this scenario, there's a lot of space where I can spawn enemies at and put them together. Same like here. Maybe I'm going to put something in between there. In here, there will be probably a bunch of units coming across, and same here. So as you can see, I'm pointing with the mouse over there already. So where I could plan. Same for here on the top of the building. I could plan a lot of new enemies approaching from either way. Even if we have been there already, we can still reuse positions over there, or I can do. So in the end, there are a total of 22 points. The last waypoint is this one here. This is basically probably where a cutscene happens or something like that. So now you have an idea of what the actual amount of space I have and how far I have planned it. So as you can also see, I built in a small timer to see how long it would take if every spot would only have a playtime of 3 seconds. So in total, it's already a playtime for just that, let's say, little harbor scenario, even if that would be very much bigger, is already 1 minute and 50 seconds long, plus minus a bit, of course. So if I have in each of them little waypoints I have showed before, I may have 5 seconds instead. It would beef up the complete scenario up to maybe 3 to 5 minutes just for this single first scenario. And so this is how I can fill complete gameplay content. And also there will be these hostiles, there will be these live upgrades if necessary, or live pickups, and a lot of other things here as well. So I might be able to get a bunch of this information into that and make a rather huge title around it. And the second one, the second part of the stage or this level is going to be inside the building, which I haven't planned yet, but I need to have something for the insides of the building to free the hostile and so on and so forth, or whatever the scenario is going to be in the end. And so this is how it currently looks. I hope you enjoyed so far, and if you have any feedback, feel free to post it down below in the comment section so I get an understanding if that is something you expected, or maybe not. Maybe it's too much, maybe it's too less. But here you can see what my, let's say, idea is going to be in the end. So if you have any questions about the project, feel free once again to post down below in the comment section or join on my Discord channel. The link is also down below. If you want to keep on track with the current scenarios I'm working on, you can always every time go and check on Trello, where I have the link, planted, or the link for that is going to be down below as well, where you can just see, okay, what is done already, and probably you see some nice footage here and there. I don't know, but probably it's quicker to check out on the Discord channel. Thanks a lot that you have watched this video. Thanks a lot for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you do so, don't forget to thumb up this video if you like it, as well as join my channel to keep on updated over here on this project. And yeah, let's see how far I can come with that. I'm gonna see you in the next video. Bye bye.